Hello, everybody. My name is Rocco, ya boy, coming at you actually from my own YouTube channel. I know, big surprise, usually sees me as a guest on everybody else's thing, but I have been bullied into making my own content because they're like, oh, oi, Rocco, not to tease yet who that could be. Oi, yeah, no, yeah, make your own channel. And, I've kind of taken that to heart, and here we are. So this is going to be my channel, Rocco, ya boy. And this video in particular is kind of a welcome and kind of a primer to this type of series and content we're going to be making here. And this is going to be episode 1 in my series of Age of Sigmar 101. Because I have gained a lot of fame with being a teacher in Age of Sigmar. And over the last year, especially with COVID, even before then, but especially with COVID, being in all the discords, answering people's questions, and helping all these new people come into our beautiful hobby, especially on the game side of things, there's been all kinds of questions, concerns, and it's just easy if I put it all in a video at this point. So I'm going to be doing several series. One of them will be this one, Age of Sigmar 101. So it'll be a beginner's class because sometimes when people are brand new to something, it's not common sense to them what should be common sense. And, if you're so new, you don't even know what you don't know. And you're like, hey, is this single hero a unit? Or are like this group of my models a unit? This will be the place to answer those questions. And the answer is yes, by the way. And being your new teacher and professor, I think it's only fair we open up our first lesson together with syllabus day. So, what we're gonna do first is, well, what items do I need to even play Age of Sigmar with? And we're gonna start off with the books. The first book I have here is actually the core book. There we go. This is the current second edition book. If there ends up being a third edition by the time you read this, we'll get the third edition book, and so on and so. Get the latest version of these. The core books actually are like 95% lore and all the backstory of what's going on in the Mortal Realms. And within there's actually about 6 battle plans, again, maybe more depending on the edition, and about 20-ish pages of actual rules and gameplay. If you get the starter set, which currently, as of second edition, is Soul Wars, there's actually going to be a pamphlet with just the rules in there for you. Make it nice and easy. Next, we've got your Battle Tome. This one is my Cities of Sigmar, one of my prides and joys that I love playing and am known for playing. And this has all of your sub-factions, your allegiance abilities, all the things that make an army tick go in here. Uh, and if you didn't want your army to tick, you wanted to play a Grand Alliance, say Order or Death or Destruction, that's actually in the core book as well. Uh, and the other cool thing about this is, besides saying all your artifacts and traits and stuff, it has all the war scrolls you need to run your army. And also all the battlefield roles and all the fun crunchy stuff we'll get to later in other series. Next, we start getting into our supplemental books and things. This is a current copy of the General's Handbook with the cursed year of 2020 on it. And why this is important. So Age of Sigmar, about twice a year, ends up having, like if you're familiar with video games, we have patches. Generally once in the summer and in the U.S., so around like July, and then once in the winter around December, again U.S. based, different hemispheres work it out, where we end up getting updates. There are points adjustments, new battle plans, new ways to play the game, and the summer update, the July update for me, is when we actually get this book, and it comes out, and it again the idea is to rebalance everything, and then during the other FAQs, the winter FAQs, which are frequently asked questions and also erratas, they end up trying to adjust points again. And I'm gonna see how good we can do this. Boom! Here we go, folks. You can see my head up there in the corner. This is the current erratas and FAQ page on the Warhammer community website, because I swear every time someone does this video, we always, as content creators, forget this stuff exists. And to say it, so Warhammer, dash community.com/FAQ boom. This is where all the meat and all the crunch and all that fun stuff you never really need to think about. Like, hey, can I do this rule? And the answer most of the time is no. That's cheating. You find this here. Uh, Also, we have several tools that I can bring you on right now. So follow me on Google. We can go to War Scroll Builder, which is a great thing. Also on the community site, which I probably should have just scrolled up, but hey, here we are. See how my mind works. We can make army lists, and you can select pitched battle. Like I like order. I'll select my allegiance, cities. I select cities as my faction, and there we go. We get access to all that fun stuff. And then we also have a website called AoS Reminders. There we go. Where when you make the army in War Scroll Builder, there's a way to actually put it into here so that it tells you, as this lovely, lovely suggestion shows, when to use your rules and how to use them, what phases. And it's honestly just helps you out a lot because let's be honest, this game has a lot of rules. It's really complicated. I'm learning new stuff every day. And with these kinds of things, we end up having a great time. Uh, but also, before I get too carried away here, when it comes to the books and things, when you buy armies in the new army book, sometimes you could actually end up ordering the war scrolls in person. So you got big old like index cards worth of stuff. And if you're more of a digital person, you can actually get an app called the Azir app, also known as the Warhammer Age of Sigmar app, on your phone. And it just has everything digitally. I mean, honestly, when I go to tournaments, I'm usually just using my phone so I don't have to cart around all these books because I can get them all on there. I just put it on battery saver mode. I'm good for a 1 day tournament and recharge for the next day. And then other things we need, and not to forget, we need to play the game dice, because this is a D6 game. And I'm going to go back to my other scene. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Next, you need a tape measure. You got to have some way to measure. Everything's in inches. You need a tape measure that shows you that so you can go measure the ranges of your units, the attacks, all that fun stuff, how far they can move, whether you're deep striking away from people. Not that you know that term yet, because again, this is the 101 class. Then, when you get all that, you need your models. You can play with empty bases. Hell, you can play on Tabletop Simulator that has most of the stuff in there. But the whole point of Warhammer is to actually build and paint your own army. And in order to do that, you need the models. And then once you get your army done, you've made your list, you're feeling great, you need a place to play it. Some people like playing on the floor. Most of us are too old and have bad backs, and we need to play it on a table. And this is where it comes in. For games that are about 1,000 points, which is one way to play the game is matched play, where we use points per model in order to determine army sizes to make the game fair. You usually play on a 4 foot by 4 foot table. If you're playing a 2,000 point game, you end up going 6 feet by 4 feet. And then when you're playing that, you're like, okay, so I got my models. This table's empty. Well, yeah, because you need terrain. And this could be as complicated as, hey, I'm going to go and use this duct tape as a house. It's a little shack, it's a yurt. Or you fancy up the yurt by actually 3D printing some terrain. Or if you're not able to build all this, not have a place to store it, go to your friendly local gaming store when it's safe to game there. It's where you're buying your models, you're supporting them. They'll generally have tables, and that's where you go and have all these events and have fun and meet people and be social. I miss it. I miss it. We're in the dark times of COVID, but we're coming out. I see the light soon. And again, if where you are isn't safe to game, there is always Tabletop Simulator and all kinds of communities with different discords, like the AoS Coach Discord. Wait a minute, everybody. Hold on. We have one more thing to cover before we actually go and close for the evening here or day wherever you are. We've got to talk about taking your supplements. No, I don't mean get your creatine powder in. We're not trying to be the elf bro or strength hammer here. What I'm trying to talk about is gaming supplements. Oh, come on, that wasn't that bad of a joke. Anyway, if you're still with me, uh, there are in this game system here. We have all kinds of campaign books like the Broken Realms thing. Like I just showed you the Marathi book. That's a whole thing about the Dark Elves of old coming around into power again. Um, and all kinds of factions going around, getting stronger, getting new war scrolls. This is how we also get updates. And also, what we're doing, if we want to go over to boom, I know I got to work on the transitions, but boom, malign sorcery. So what this is, these are a list of the generic endless spells that also had another supplement called Forbidden Power, where you can pay points in your army for these bad boys and girls here, whether it's the Quicksilver Swords, the Geminids over here of Ulgish, the Purple Murder Grape, also known as a Purple Sun. And there's different ways you can play with points in your army to either buff you, debuff your opponent, do a bunch of damage. Then also, there's a Broken Realms website that can go more in depth on everything we're talking about. And right now, we're actually waiting for the second installment currently, as recording of this Broken Realms tech list. So who knows what we're gonna do? And yeah, then there's also campaigns like Wrath of the Everchosen, Path to Glory, all different ways to play narratively as well. That you have a lot of fun with your friends. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for coming to class as your professor and as your boy. Rocco has you back here to help you learn all the things you need to go and play Age of Sigmar and have fun. So with that, back to full screen me. How you doing? Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your time, and I'll see you next class. This is exciting, huh? All right. Bye.